It's 2 a.m. and your mind refuses to let you rest. Not because anything is wrong, but because your brain has entered a different mode. And tonight, we're going to explain exactly what's happening. Anxiety at night is not a character flaw. It is a biological response to a nervous system that never learned how to switch off. During the day, your brain is flooded with stimulation, work, messages, noise, movement. These distractions act as a buffer between you and your own thoughts. But at night, the noise stops, the screen goes dark, and suddenly, your mind has no more distractions to hide behind. All the thoughts you postponed all day are still there, waiting. Research suggests that without sensory input, the brain defaults to self-referential thinking. In other words, when there's nothing to look at, your mind turns inward. And for an anxious brain, this is dangerous territory. When anxiety strikes at night, your amygdala, the brain's threat detection center, activates your body's survival system. Cortisol floods your bloodstream. Adrenaline follows. Your heart rate increases. Your muscles tighten. Your mind sharpens. Not for rest, but for danger. The problem is, your brain cannot tell the difference between a real physical threat and an anxious thought. For your nervous system, worrying about tomorrow's meeting feels exactly the same as running from a predator. This is why anxiety at night creates what researchers call the rumination loop. A thought appears. Your brain flags it as a threat. Your body responds with stress hormones. The stress makes the thought feel more urgent. The urgency creates more thoughts, and the loop continues. Scientists have found that exposure to blue light from phones, tablets, and screens suppresses melatonin production, the hormone that signals your brain it's time to sleep, which means that the last thing most people do before bed is tell their brain it's still daytime. Chronic stress and anxiety can also dysregulate your cortisol rhythm. Normally out, cortisol peaks in the morning to wake you up and drops at night to let you sleep. But in chronically anxious individuals, cortisol levels remain elevated at night, keeping the brain in a state of low-level alertness that makes deep sleep nearly impossible. But here is what most people don't realize. The anxious brain is not a broken brain. It is a brain that learned to be hypervigilant, and what the brain learned, it can also unlearn. Small, consistent changes can dramatically reduce nighttime anxiety. Limiting screen exposure before bed, creating a consistent sleep schedule, allowing your nervous system to gradually learn that nighttime is safe. Maybe the anxiety you feel at night is not a sign that something is wrong with you. Maybe it is a sign that your nervous system has been working too hard for too long. And perhaps understanding that is the first step toward rest. This video is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare provider. If you found this helpful, subscribe to Selyra Mind for more science-based documentaries about sleep, anxiety, and the modern nervous system.